Pizza in 15 minutes? Methinks we can. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be making a very, very quick version of pizza. Something for a light meal, something for a quick snack throughout the day. You come home from school, you're looking for something proper to eat. I'm talking real food. No need to go for something processed, something quick. Ladies, this is the easiest thing to do. Absolutely anybody can do it. This is more about assembly than it is about actual cooking. But if we're smart about our ingredients and we're smart about what we combine, we're smart about how we make this, literally pizza in 15 minutes. Don't believe me? Stick around. We're going to start off instant pizza sauce. Get yourself a can of plum tomatoes. All we do is we take our plum tomatoes, put them in a bowl. Make sure your hands are clean. Lydia, Felicia, Shiara, I'm watching you. Make sure those hands are clean. We want to make sure we get everything out of this can of tomatoes. So we'll put everything into our bowl, and literally within about 30 seconds we will have an instant pizza sauce. Here we are. We'll just put this off to the side. We're going to start with about 2 tablespoons of dry oregano. We'll give ourselves a little bit of salt. There we are. We'll give ourselves a quick pinch of pepper. Now, I know you see me taking pepper out of a ramekin here. I grind my pepper literally every few days. I grind just enough for what I'm going to cook, and then I use it so that way it doesn't lose any of its flavor. So what we're going to do is we're going to get in there with our impeccably clean hands, gently, or you're going to wear it. So nice and easy. Let's just get those tomatoes nice and crushed up. We don't want to get some big honking piece of tomato on our pizza. We want to make sure that we get everything in there nicely squished up. This is a very, very rustic pizza sauce. You go to any home in Italy, this is the way you would typically have it. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that all of our tomatoes are properly crushed, and we will wash our hands. There we are. So now there's only one more thing that I'm going to put in our sauce before it's done, and that's 1 clove of garlic. So I can chop that up, but if you happen to have one of these puppies hanging around, this is a microplane grater. This is really the best way to get garlic into your tomato sauce. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to grate it, and it's going to come out really, really, really fine. 1 clove is all you need. Raw garlic is pretty strong stuff. So we want to make sure that we're just getting that across the grater. Make sure that our fingers are out of the way, because these graters are quite sharp. Just put this off to the side. There we are. And that's literally a little bit of pureed garlic. So we'll give our hands a quick rinse. And our sauce is essentially done. So we're going to give this just a quick stir to get our garlic incorporated and infused into our very rustic tomato sauce, and we are basically done with the sauce. What we're going to be using to make these pizzas today, this is basically just plain naan bread. So this bread is already cooked, and it's already baked, I should say, and this is a great quick base for a pizza. What I have here is I have 2 baking sheets. I have a wire rack underneath. This way the naan sits up above the edge of the pan, and the air can circulate underneath. The crust will get nice and crispy, and it will bake along with the rest of the toppings. So speaking of those toppings, we've got 1 medium-sized onion. We're just going to cut this up into very, very fine slices. There we are. Very, very fine slices of onion. Make sure that's all sliced through. We'll take this and we'll put it right back on our plate. We'll get ourselves a bell pepper. Again, simple box cut. We want to make sure we get all the meat of the pepper without any of the stuff inside that we don't need. So we'll just take this stuff and toss it out. And And if there are any big pieces of pith like we have here, we'll just cut that off, trim that off, and set it off to the side. So what we're going to do with this pepper, same as we did with our onion, we want to cut some thin strips. There we are. We can prep all this stuff ahead of time, and that way we are ready to go, and literally pizza in 15 minutes. While we're doing this, we want to preheat our oven to 400 degrees, rack in the middle of the oven. There we are. So we've got all of our pepper ready to go. We've got a couple of these mushrooms here as well. Let's get the peppers off to our plate. There we are. And now we're going to slice up our mushrooms. Very, very simply, you just want some thin slices. There we are. And done. So now all of our toppings are pretty much done. We are going to add, or at least I am, going to add a little bit of meat to this as well. And this is a great way to use up any of those leftover cold cuts, any of those leftover lunch meats that you happen to have in your fridge. What I have here is a little bit of spicy soppressata because, well, Coach Joe likes it a little spicy. So instead of using a chili pepper, we're just going to use a spicy cured meat product. And I have just a little bit of plain mozzarella that I've taken to the large side of a box grater. And now it's all about assembly. So I'm going to start with my first two naan breads here. We're going to take a ladle of our pizza sauce. We're just going to pop that on top. Now we don't want too much because this will get a little soggy if we have too much sauce. So literally one ladle, and this is not a big ladle, is all we need. There we are. So let's make sure we get this all around. There we are. Beautiful. Put this off to the side. We'll start with some of our spicy soppressata. There we are. And maybe one in the middle. We'll get some of our vegetables on there as well. You know what? We'll put our vegetables up top. We'll get our mozzarella on there. Just a sprinkle. Are. And you know what, we'll get the second one done here as well. 2, 3, 4, one in the middle. A little bit of cheese on here as well. Let's make sure we spread that out. We don't want a big glob of cheese in one spot. And then we'll get a little bit of our onion. Spread that around. And these vegetables are all cut so thin and so fine that they will cook in the time that it takes for the rest of the pizza to cook as well. So a few pieces of onion. There we are. We'll get some of our bell pepper. A few slices of our bell pepper. There we are. Some on here as well. And again, this is an opportunity to use up any leftover vegetables that you have in your fridge. If you have a little bit of zucchini, you can throw it on here as well, a little bit of eggplant. Anything that you have at all kicking around your fridge. You can also use different kinds of meats. Any leftover roast meats that you have, some chicken, we can just shred that and throw that in here as well. A few slices of mushroom. There we are. There we are. Onto this one here as well. There we go. And we are essentially done. I'm going to knock out the other two, throw them into a 400-degree oven for 15 minutes, and I will see you then. All right, it has been about 15 minutes. I've just taken our pizzas out of the oven. I'm just going to put one on the board just to show you exactly how they came out. Look at that. Look at that. Absolutely spectacular. Put this right on the board. We'll give this a quick slice. There we are. Oh, listen to that. Beautiful crunch. Oh, there we are. Now this, any time of day, literally pizza in 15 minutes. Oh, get that one there. And we are going to give this just a little taste. Wait. So we'll put this guy back on the plate and let's see how this came out. Mm. 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 Stellar. I would eat that anytime. Anytime. You can't beat that. Pizza in 15 minutes. Real food, real good, real fast. All with ingredients that I had kicking around the fridge. With a little bit of creativity, a little bit of ingenuity, sometimes we can take an ingredient like just those regular naan breads and we can turn them into something absolutely spectacular. If you haven't yet, do like and subscribe. Please leave your feedback in the comments. Love to read them. Any questions that you have, leave them down in the comments below. And we will see you on the next one.